It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So for today's video, we are going to talk about plush. Are they plush? Are they stuffed animals? Well, that's debatable. I know I grew up calling them stuffed animals, but in the world of eBay, we typically call them plush. So for that reason, I will refer to them as plush for this video. So yeah, we're going to talk about 13 plush that are worth picking up. And there are so many more than that, but we're just going to cover 13 today. And these are both individual plushes to pick up as well as brands in general that offer valuable plush. So let's talk about them. Number one, Balto. This movie was released in the 90s, and it was about this wolf dog. Perhaps some of you saw the movie, but for whatever reason, Balto stuff is super, super collectible. I know I've picked up some of their Hardee's toys from their kids' meals, and those usually sell for around $20 each. And the plush is no exception. The plush, however, sells in the hundreds. So as you can see, this is Balto here and what he looks like. And any of the characters from this movie, the plush are very valuable. So if you see Balto out there, you want to pick him up and you want to sell him. Item number two, King of the Hill. This show's on Fox. It's a more adult-oriented animated show. Very funny. But they did release some plush for this show at one point. And I don't know how rare these are, but I'm guessing they're pretty rare. They also have some action figures that if you can find them, they're valuable as well. But again, this video is about plush. So the plush, as you can see, is very valuable as well. So should you find any King of the Hill plush, pick it up. It's worth buying. Number three, Blue's Clues. Now, Blue's Clues has been around for a while in different forms. There was first just Blue's Clues in general, and now we've got Blue's Clues and You with Josh. My children watch this show. My son in particular really enjoys it. However, when Blue's Clues and You came out, they started releasing some toys and some plush, and I found personally that the vintage Blue's Clues toys that used to sell for a lot more started selling for less, because now you could get Blue's Clues toys from the new installation of Blue's Clues. So there was a dip in value. However, when it comes to plush, there's more obscure characters or limited release plush that are very valuable. So if you're to look up completed listings on eBay for Blue's Clues plush, you'll see some of these smaller characters and those little smiles they have on their face. You kind of want to just look for that because they all have, kind of similar smiles. If you can find the more, obscure vintage Blue's Clues plush, still very valuable. So definitely be on the lookout for the obscure characters, in particular from Blue's Clues, in plush form. They're very cute. Great to find. I've never found any, but I'm always looking. Number four. Well, that would be 8. 4. 4 is Chuck E. Cheese. I've mentioned Chuck E. Cheese plush in anything really Chuck E. Cheese in a video before, but I want to emphasize it again just in case you missed it before, because Chuck E. Cheese stuff is collectible, it's hot, and again, just like Blue's Clues, the more obscure characters like Mr. Munch and Pasquale the Pizza Man, these could be your more valuable plush, especially if they're vintage. However, there are some limited release Chucky plush that are worth good money too. Really, Chuck E. Cheese, any kind of plush is worth picking up. I even sold recently a stuffed ball from like 2016 with Chuck E. Cheese characters on it for like $16 or $17. I knew it wouldn't be worth huge money, but anything Chuck E. Cheese is usually worth picking up. So any kind of Chuck E. Cheese plush, look it up. It's probably worth picking up as long as the price is good enough. But most of it will sell because it's super collectible. So definitely worth taking a look at. And if you find any of the really old school Pizza Time, Showbiz Pizza Time plush, woof, those characters can command very big money. So yes, Chuck E. Cheese, it's collectible. Even if it's newer, look it up. Do yourself a favor, you can make some money. Number 5, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic's been around for a while too. Of course, popular video game character from the 90s that still exists today. Of course, they made these recent Sonic the Hedgehog movies. My kids love them. I love them too. What can I say? But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, for whatever reason, the plush command high dollars. Even the current ones. I was in Target the other day and I had to do a double take on the price. But they had these plushes maybe about this tall and they were $20. And, if you go back and look, some of these more rare Sonic plush characters, oh my goodness, these are huge, huge money. So if you see any Sonic the Hedgehog anything, do that quick Google Lens search to see, because it could be very, very valuable, because Sonic the Hedgehog plush is valuable. Next, we're going to talk about a specific character, and this character is from The Nightmare Before Christmas. His name is Oogie Boogie. He's popular. It's a funny name. He's kind of a funny looking blob creature, but Oogie Boogie stuff sells great, and the plush is no exception. And I watched a video on YouTube recently of somebody at the bins, and they passed over an Oogie Boogie plush. I don't think toys were really their thing, but I thought to myself, I should look that up just out of curiosity to see what this plush is worth. And sure enough, it was worth like just under $30. So it's too bad for them. They definitely should have picked that up. But yeah, look in general for Oogie Boogie, because there's so many different variations of plush, but many of them are valuable. So Oogie Boogie, look him up. Next, number 7 is just a brand in general. And most resellers, if you're a little seasoned, know about this brand, but I know there's folks on here that are just learning. So for these folks, it's important to review important information like this. The brand Steiff in general is a very high-end toy brand, and you can find a lot of Steiff plush that are worth good money. So I don't need to necessarily highlight anything in particular for this brand, but if you see Steiff on the tag, you definitely want to look it up, because some of these Steiff plush command high dollars. So just remember that brand, Steiff. Number 8, Slumberkins. Again, this list includes both older and newer plush. And Slumberkins, too many S's. Slumberkins are a newer plush. They've come out in the past maybe few years. I know I first saw them on Facebook. They're actually really cool. They're made by a group of therapists that wanted to publish books about coping skills for children. And to those of you who don't know, which I think is maybe all of you, in my regular job, I'm actually a licensed therapist. So I thought about, child clients that I work with and how great this would have been for them. But yeah, there's these books made for children about coping skills, and then there's these plush that go with them. So you have the plush, and it's kind of a lovey style. I actually have one right down here. This is my son's. This is Slumber Sloth. Slumber Sloth actually recently sold on eBay for $130. Some of these Slumberkins, even though they've only been out for a few years, they've become rare and collectible. So you see they have these flat bodies, but they also have have full-bodied slumberkins as well, and the sloth ones seem to be more rare. So you want to look those up. But if you see any of these slumberkins that have this kind of flat body, you definitely want to just do a little quick check to see what the value is. Not all of them are super valuable, but some of them are. So, and if you find one, new with the book, that's a great pickup as well. But they don't need the book to command the high dollar. So, hello. We won't be selling him yet because my son really loves him. So, but someday maybe, if he's okay with getting rid of him, Mom will put him on eBay maybe someday. Number 9. This brand is getting more well-known amongst the reseller community. This brand is out of England, out of London, and it's called Jellycat. I am yet to find a Jellycat plush, but many of them are very valuable. I just have this example here of this frog that's out there, and who knows where. It could be at your Goodwill right now. But yes, this frog is rare and valuable, and he's out there if you can find him. But yeah, Jellycat, anything is worth looking up because there's many different variations that are worth money. I can't guarantee all of them are, but if you can find them, you definitely want to look up the brand Jellycat. Number 10, vintage Disney plush made by the company called Applause. So Applause and Disney teamed up in the 90s, and they made a lot of different plush. Some of them have these rubber heads and hands, and I find that many of these are valuable. But really, they don't have to have the rubber face and hands. Those are just ones I've noticed in particular are valuable. Really just, depends on the show, depends on the character, which one's valuable. But I have one down here that I want to show you. This one's from my own private collection. I actually purchased him on eBay. I was one of those customers that wanted the nostalgia. I had this exact same plush and maybe still do somewhere at my parents' house, but I looked and I couldn't find him. So I saw one for a decent deal on eBay and I scooped him up. But this is Don Carnage from Tailspin. Still got his tag, as you can see. He's probably worth, new like this, I got a good deal on him, but he's probably worth, I don't know, about maybe $70, I'd say, with his tag still attached, because you could kind of consider him in new condition. But if you find him used, he sells for like $50 also. So he's a super good pickup. I've mentioned the Disney Afternoon in my 90s Bolos video. So if you haven't seen that video, you definitely want to go check it out. There's a lot of good information there. But yeah, I went into more detail about Disney Afternoon characters, but really the focus this time is vintage Disney Applause plush specifically, because they do seem to be pretty valuable, many of them. So I'd say it's worth a shot to look it up. If you see this tag with the hands, they also have a tush tag that says Applause on it. So yeah, these are definitely worth looking up, because the Applause, they produce some nice high quality plush, and they're collectible to this day. And while we're talking about vintage Disney plush, just a little bonus. This isn't officially on the list, but I was looking over my own collection and I was reminded about discontinued Disney attraction plushes. They tend to be valuable also. Disney World had this ride, which I personally loved, called Alien Encounter. They've since changed it to different things, but this guy here, he's super cute. His name is Skippy. This plush is actually worth around $100 on eBay, and he holds kind of sentimental value to me. I was a big stuffed animal lover, as I think I already mentioned, and yeah, I just thought he was the cutest when I went to Disney, and my friend that I went with at the time bought him for me because I thought he was so cute, which was really cute. And yeah, so I've had him since my junior year of high school, and I'm not getting rid of him. But if you find one of these guys in any size, I think there's a size up too, like a bigger plush. This is more of like he's got like a beanie filling. But yeah, if you happen to find anything of Skippy from Disney, he's he's very valuable. So this was a Walt Disney World park release stuffed animal. You probably won't see like a Disney store one, so it's from the parks. But yes, definitely worth picking up also. Number 11, Aurora. Aurora is a more modern brand, and it's another one of those brands you just want to be on the lookout for. Not all Aurora is valuable, but there are many variations that are. I just want to give an example here. There's this mushroom Aurora, and as you can see, it's worth big money. And sometimes there's certain just themes of stuffed animals that trend that are worth looking into, because I know wolves earlier this year were pretty big, and I know there's like a tiger Aurora plush that's really valuable. So you just want to look up Aurora if you're out and about at the thrift store and you find some. It's not a guarantee, but worth looking into, because as you can see, some of them are big money. Number 12. Number 12 is the Manhattan Toy Company. This company's been around a while. It is more high end, and if you happen to see a toy with a Manhattan Toy Company tag on it, worth looking up. Again, not all of them are valuable, but if you're finding these things at a garage sale for like a quarter or 50 cents, they're probably all worth picking up, really. There's some vintage Manhattan Toy Company dinosaurs I want to highlight in particular, huge bolos. If you see these out and about, pick it up immediately, because it's worth big money. So it's just something that you got to pay attention to the tags and see what they say. So that's the hard part, because this can be tedious work sometimes when you're at the thrift store to look at every stuffed animal's tush tag. But certain companies do have more predictable shapes of the stuffed animals and styles. So just familiarizing yourself with how the brands appear in general is worth a few minutes of your day at some point if you want to get into selling plush. Seriously, it's good to know just in general what the tags look like and the shapes of the figures. The plush. Last but not least, number 13, Target dog plushes. Now these have, certain degrees of rareness. They're not all super valuable, but Target released these plush. I'm not sure if they still do, but for employees, they had these Target dog plushes. So these were not necessarily available to the general public, but some of them can be very valuable. I scooped this guy up at a garage sale because it just, something about it screamed kind of unique to me, being that he's wearing a Sully for Monsters, Inc. costume. Super cute. These can be valuable. These are worth picking up if you see one. And when I cashed out, the girl told me, "Oh, I used to work at Target and I got that when I worked there. Like, he's really cute." Yes, he is. I'm going to take him in. Originally I was going to sell him, but he never made it. I never listed him. He wound up in my death pile. And then eventually I realized the reason why he was in the death pile, it wasn't because he was going to be hard to list. It was because I didn't want to list him, because I like stuffed animals. But I will encourage those of you that can let go of things easier than I can when it comes to plush to look for these Target dogs dressed up like things that are not Target dogs, and it's definitely worth looking up. If you can get a lot of them, you'll make some good money that way. But yeah, I just still have mine and we're chilling. Maybe someday I'll sell him, but not anytime soon. I have a pretty decent collection of plush up on my shelf, and there's probably more up there that I could have featured in today's video, but I didn't want to keep you all day long. So I did want to highlight, though, these 13 plush. And if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it the thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to have you watching every single week. And again, this is Melanie with Crow's Thrifty Finds. I'll see you next week.